Harmony, my rosebuds. I love y'all so much, and thank you so much for your support and your encouragement. Thank you so much for all the likes, for the views. I really, really appreciate every last one of y'all. I mean that from the bottom of my heart, from my inner gut. I appreciate it so much, because the videos that I share is made to inspire you mentally. You know, Conscious Inspirations is my podcast that I will be starting, and it is to literally help you to brighten your horizon, you know, make you think more, make you become consciously aware of yourself through inspiration from whether it's my story or someone else's story. So somewhere along the lines, we resonate somewhere. So I just wanted to give thanks for that. So this video is really going to be geared towards the power of having an optimistic mindset, and that is one of my core values, being optimistic. Optimistic is one of my core values, that if I cannot be optimistic around you, if I can't think positive around you, think right behind you, think righteously by you, then there's no need. We're not going to be a good match, because I can't be around people who try to take that power away from me, because I found so much love, I found so much compassion, grace. I even found God with just being optimistic, and because of that, it has led me in the right places, in the right spaces. Because I feel like once we experience a certain level of trauma within our lives in certain situations, a lot of times it's hard for us to see the positive. And we are, especially if we have grown in a family that all they see is like negativity and coming towards you about just fearful things happening, all that, it throws us off, you know. And it feels weird when you do start to think positive and you do start to think more right and righteous. It feels weird, but I'm here to tell you that it doesn't. It's not weird. It's actually a beautiful thing. You know, I experienced something very traumatic for me yesterday, and at first I was just very bummed by it, right? And so I had to sit with myself, and I had to sit with my sister. We prayed. I even talked to my pastor. We prayed. She let me in on some things, you know, all that good stuff. And I'm so proud of myself in that moment, because it's been so many times where I've had traumatic situations happen, and I always thought the worst, and I always got the worst out of it. And I'm so proud of myself, because it took me so long. This is why I advocate for mental health, no matter the age, because I came from having that negative mindset, that fearful mindset, that just clouded mindset where I can't think for myself. I can't think at all. Like, it was just crazy, you know. And I was mentally in a fog and in a funk, and spiritually I was not present. Emotionally, I didn't know and understand myself at all, not one bit. Physically, I was drained, you know. I felt weak. But when I started to reprogram my mindset and started praying and started talking to God more, I started, you know, being more out in nature, doing breath work. I started doing all of these things, and somewhere along the lines I had this bait and switch of just, you know what, why am I choosing to be negative? Why am I choosing negativity when there are other options like happiness? There are other options like joy, graciousness, kindness, happiness, you know, love, peace of mind. Why was I choosing and so fixated on negativity so much much, and I had to dig deep inside of myself, and I had to go inside of my childhood traumas, and I had to address what was going on, because a lot of people really sleep on their childhood experiences, their childhood traumas, and they don't understand how those emotional traumas really affect you as an adult. And you know, it's a lot of times where our grandparents or our parents are telling us we need to get a grip and stuff, but it's like, how? We weren't taught those things. We weren't taught those things. If we were taught those things, we would not be in this mindset as adults, and we wouldn't be struggling as much as we are as adults. And this is why I talk about which I need to do another video. I talk about the lost value system, and I spoke the first one, the first pillar is spiritual. And you know, that is so important, because I'm, as a 20-year-old young melanated woman, I'm realizing that, you know, a lot of our families are not spiritually intact. We're not spiritually grounded. We don't have spiritual awareness, and that is a real issue, and that is a thing that should not be left out when it comes to raising children, or just individuality. That shouldn't be left out at all. And I feel like that should be the very first thing that we talk about, and that we establish when we are in, especially having a rebirth with ourselves. We can go to the gym all we want to, we can go to all these classes, these coaches, all that, but if you're not going to God, if you don't have a spiritual routine, if you don't take care of yourself spiritually, you are forever going to be struggling. I don't care how much money you have, how much wealth you accumulate. If your spirit is not intact, you're going to be forever struggling. Okay, I'm finding it out at 28 years old that, oh, I didn't really have a spiritual foundation or spiritual establishment with my immediate family. And that's not to take anything from my family, but this is just from observation and just noticing certain things within myself that I lacked. And I had to see, like, where is this lack coming from? Where did it start? Like, that's what I had to think, like, where did it start? Because I had to learn this from somewhere, because we have to understand children imitate everything that is around them, because they're still grasping the way life is. They're still grasping the way their hands and their bodies and everything moving. So it's like, what was I learning from the people that was in my immediate family? And although I went to my nana's on the weekends and we went to church, it wasn't instilled in my immediate family, like my mom and my stepdad, like who I slept at home in their house every day. That foundation was not there. And I'm realizing at this age, 28 years old with the one child, how, oh baby, we got to get our spirit together. Like, we have to have that foundation established, because that is a necessity. And if it wasn't for having my low moments in life, I would have never got to this mindset or to this knowing that me being optimistic, me being positive, and seeing the positive out of every situation, seeing that, okay, there's a lesson here, so let me not wear my problems on my sleeves or on my heart. Let me figure out, okay, what was the lesson behind this traumatic experience? Because there is something there that can be there's something there that can be learned, and I need to figure it out. And that requires me to sit with myself and also acknowledge the bad and acknowledging the good, okay? And using that moment to make an analysis, okay, on my behavior, the situation, all of that, and then taking note of that, taking note of that, but not taking it in and holding it there. And that's where I used to struggle with all the time, you know, learning to release things and not hold on to them. And when I gained this optimistic mindset, it allowed me to be free spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and even physically, because sometimes I used to get into this mindset of, oh my God, so much stuff is happening to where I can't physically move, I can't do anything, but I had to get a grip. So I'm making this video to let you know, to encourage you to get a grip on it. Your experiences are not for you to keep them. They are for you to observe them, analyze them, see where the lesson is in it. And the optimistic mindset comes from, okay, this is what happened. I made this decision. I acted this way, taking accountability. Moving forward, how can I be better? Moving forward, I will not react this way, because 9 times out of 10, a lot of traumas happen from misunderstanding and miscommunication, you know. And it's crazy because people don't like to communicate, and they feel like if they communicate certain things, they're always either concerned about the way the person will receive it or take it, or how they will be judged by communicating what they're feeling. So yes, remaining optimistic is power. You know, even when people feel like they have power over you, let them feel like they have power over you. But just know that the power is within you. Okay? Like, please understand that. And this is coming from a woman who I let people sit here and think that they have power over me, and let people think what they want about me or the decisions that I'm making in my life, whether they like it or they don't like it. If you think you have power over me, my God, honey, go ahead. But I'm choosing to take from the lesson, from the situation, the lessons, and I'm learning to understand what I can do better to make myself better and to demonstrate and be an example of better. So optimistic is all about remaining positive no matter what. Okay, even if sometimes the situation, you might have to process it a little longer, but you still remain positive, you still remain forgiving, you still remain in love. Even if the situation don't seem like love, you still, at the end of the day, after you process it, after you calm down, you still remain in love, and you move in love, and you release in love. You know, that's okay. So with that being said, family, I just wanted to drop this video on being optimistic and thinking positive, and you know, how that power of being optimistic can really reshape your life. And you just never know what God will bless you with just from you being positive and reevaluating certain traumas and taking the good out of it, so that you can become a better version of you. Because at the end of the day, we can sit here and blame people all we want to, we can sit here and talk down on people all we want to, but that's not going to get you nowhere, because you're still going to be the same person that you are on the inside. But you have to understand who you are at the core, and you have to move with love. And God is love. God is limitless, and so is you. So are you. But anyways, I just wanted to drop that video, leave a little motivation on this Monday. The power of being optimistic is really truly power that nobody else can really take from you, and I want you to remember that. So if this video resonated with you, make sure you drop a rose in the comment section. It looks like it's about to rain. I wear the wrong stuff when it rains. It's ghetto. But anyways, drop a rose in the comment section if this video resonated with you. I want to know your thoughts, perspectives. Peace out, family.